Hello, is it me you're looking for? Can I sing, dude? Can I sing, dude? Have I been hiding from you all that I'm actually just a really highly trained singer, man? I mean, look at my hair. If I wanted to be an opera singer, wouldn't I be? Wouldn't I be? How are you doing, guys? How are we doing? Did you guys notice? Trump won, bro. RFK's gonna start ripping in there. Elon Musk is gonna start ripping in there. And the Department of Government Efficiency is going to be born. So let's have a discussion surrounding what this moment really represents and what this kind of means in more practical terms, right? Lately, we've been talking about debt a lot. So I want to continue that discussion. I want to continue that discussion because we want to think about debt as optimally as we can because debt is very much viewed, especially people who come from, less fortunate, less privileged socioeconomic positions. It's viewed as something, hmm, it's viewed as something that is inherently negative. It's something you only engage in when you have to. But I want you to think about this very differently because if we think about these two men right here, these two men are being lent in the form of equity and loans billions of dollars their whole lives, pretty much. Elon Musk more recently, but Donald Trump has been borrowing money, billions of dollars, going bankrupt for those billions of dollars, not paying those people back, and moving forward. Okay. And obviously, he just became the president for the second time. There's a lot of different ways that this conversation can go, right? Because in a way, we live in this amazingly forgiving culture, right? We forgive the people who make mistakes in a pretty profound way. No, I mean, like Donald Trump, January 6th, all those things, right? He just became president, and it's not like he became president like because through happenstance. Like 76 million Americans or something like that went ahead and voted for this guy. Fascinating. But what this moment really represents is something pretty profound. And I think that we're going to see a lot of change in our country pretty quickly. And I mean it more in like we're going to feel the change too. Like it's not going to just be like change that we read about. I think it's going to be change that we kind of get to witness. It's a different quality of change. It's the change that maybe a Barack Obama in 2008, you know, tricked everyone into thinking he was capable of doing, right? This is the issue. This is the issue. Now, let's talk about how to resolve debt in both a combination of like in the combination of like our federal government, right? Trump, Musk, what they're going to be doing at the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, at least what their stated goals are up until this point, right? Because in order to resolve your debt problems, you can only do it in so many different ways, right? You have to either cut your expenses or grow your revenues, and you can cut your expenses by firing staff or improving the overall operational efficiency, right? If you know that, like, okay, you don't necessarily need to fire anybody, but if you improve that sales script so that it's converting 10% more of the leads that you talk to, right? That's a huge efficiency gain, right? That's a great example of an operational efficiency gain. You probably have heard guys like Alex Hermosi talk about that, right? The other way you can do it is by growing revenues. And in the form of government, you have to either grow your tax revenue by increasing taxes or tariffs, right? That's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to increase tariffs, meaning if someone's trying to sell, like say Japan, if Japan's trying to sell their cars to Americans, when they import or export, I guess they export their cars from Japan and we receive them. Upon us receiving them, we will now charge them a tariff, supposedly. And this is a very good thing for the American economy, guys. It might make things like, Japanese products a little bit more expensive or German products a little bit more expensive, and then increasing the demand for American products, which over time will lower the cost, right? These are really good things. But really good things, which is something that our country has not been open to potentially. Really good things require sacrifice, require pain in the short to medium term. And as a country, we're much more interested in like how much free money can I get in the short term versus like how much pain can we put the economy in so that in 2 to 3 years from now, we're killing it, right? Okay. This is the more important point, though, on this slide. We need to grow the value of the asset that the debt is secured by to make the debt provider or bond target buyers comfortable. Another way of resolving your debt problems is this. If you grow the asset, the equity value of the asset that is receiving the leverage, so receiving the debt, receiving the loans, right? And you increase that value, it's not, the debt stays the same, right? Assuming it's interest, right? But if you're growing at 20% a year and your debt is only growing at 2% a year or whatever the fuck it is, doesn't matter. That's good debt because what is debt? Debt is leverage, right? And what is leverage? Leverage is borrowing from the future to fuel the present. This is how you do really interesting things, guys. You carry the burden of other people's money. This is something these two, like you think, right? There are guys out there, right, who play this game. They play this game of money, they play this game of business, and they don't take money from other people. And they are really good at keeping their garden secure, right? But those are not people doing things that Elon Musk and Donald Trump have done, right? These are not people. These are people who are doing internet things. They're doing sideshows. They're just doing a bunch of sideshows that are cool, right? But you're not going to build a rocket company with only your own money, right? You're not going to build casinos in New Jersey and skyscrapers and hotels in Manhattan with only your own money. It wouldn't even be smart to do that. That wouldn't even be intelligent to do, right? Okay. Last point for today. We need to take, but one thing that's going to happen is Elon Musk is going to fire all of these people from all of these different government programs, right? And what that's going to do is, I think that this is one thing that they're not foreseeing, like Musk, Trump, and all these guys, is these bureaucracies, they absorbed a huge amount of democratic process, like literally, like these bureaucracies, like there's so many random ones, right? Like the alcohol and tobacco agency, right? Alcohol and tobacco agencies like in charge of like making rules about who can smoke and drink what, blah blah blah. It's a federal agency. But now, like once agencies like that are just taken out, your state and your local community is going to have more things to vote on because these bureaucracies have literally removed your choice in democratic process. So like, and there's endless examples of this, like even environmental agencies, right? You're going to have more things in your local community to vote on in the context of environmental issues, right? Like you as a voter, you're going to have more responsibility and more issues to track and be aware of after this Department of Government Efficiency kind of takes off, right? And that's because these bureaucracies that are a huge problem, they've actually taken away a lot of your voting rights over certain domains of our society, right? Easy example is the Federal Reserve, right? Like the Federal Reserve, elites in the American establishment, whatever you want to call it, not really establishment, but elites in the early 20th century basically said, hey, certain things are okay to be governed democratically, right? Monetary policy is not one of those things. Because what is a democracy, right? Let's quote Aristotle again. A democracy is governorship by the poor because it's governorship by the majority, and the majority people are poor. So, again, certain things over time get removed from democratic process. Certain domains of our society, domains of our socioeconomic system are pulled back and are privatized, are bureaucratized, right? So you're going to see more and more domains of society, literally issues in society, environmental issues, gun issues, tobacco issues, everything is going to become more of a public discussion because these bureaucracies, which I don't think we're fully conscious of, have absorbed and taken over that responsibility of making those choices, right? So, like, if I'm the alcohol and tobacco agency or whatever the fuck, I can say, like, okay, well, 18-year-olds in these places, like, can't have this. It's 21 and up now, and they can make those rules. But now that they don't exist, like, theoretically, they're not going to exist soon. On the other side of that, we're going to have to make those choices ourselves. And I think that's exciting. I think it's just I'm highlighting it because I think it's a symptom of what Musk and Trump are going to be doing that not a lot of people are talking about right now. Okay? Gentlemen, that is today's video. We'll pick this up again tomorrow. Bye, guys.